What's up, guys? Welcome to Rob's house. We're doing a quick mod on the Mustang today. Taylor has graciously come over to assist because we are going to be swapping out the hood on the Mustang. I think I mentioned it in a prior video, but we have a little bit of liftage going on here on both sides with the hood scoop. There's supposed to be 6 bolts and they're kind of molded to the plastic underneath the hood scoop, and the 3 that are up here have broken off and more or less disintegrated. So half the hood scoop is pretty much held on by tape, which isn't great. So anyway, I've ordered a hood from Cervini's. Cervini's, I don't know how to say that, hit me up in the comments. But anyway, it's a paint matched hood. It's the Cervini's Stalker Hood, so it's gonna look just like this hood, but it's gonna have a functional hood scoop, so it's gonna be a little taller than this, and it's gonna actually be a real hood scoop, not just a bolt-on one like Roush puts on. I do also have another set of Roush Charge decals for it, but for tonight, we're just gonna actually do the install. So Taylor was reading the instructions as I was grabbing my camera.
Shouldn't be too bad.
Shouldn't be too bad. Cool. All right, so this looks pretty straightforward. Famous last words?
Yes.
Famous last words.
Yes.
So we're gonna take the liner off first. Then we have to remove the windshield wiper fluid squirter thingies. So we gotta take those out. And then we gotta take this guy off, the actual latch. We reuse that. And then we'll just unbolt the hood struts, unbolt the hood, and swap it over. All right, we're pretty much ready to pull the hood off. So we, took these 1,000 push pins out and got the liner out. It's sitting over there. Took the latch out. We took these are the wiper fluid sprayer thingies. We just kind of disconnected them from the line, pulled those out. Insulator strip, that's pretty much it. Now we can just unbolt it and we'll put the new hood on and show you guys what it looks like. Taylor votes leave it open.
Leave it open.
I mean, the blower does look pretty badass. I think we're gonna also remove the covering from the air intake because we have that air dam that'll direct airflow right to it. So yeah, I didn't show this before actually, but we have this air dam that's gonna go on the bottom of the new hood. So the hood scoop will actually direct air right towards where the intake sits. So it'll actually be functional, which is cool. Anyway, we're gonna line this new hood up and then show you what it looks like. All right, a little finesse, but we got it. The hood is aligned. Fits pretty good on this for an aftermarket hood, I think. There's a little bit of gap, a little bit of excess gap on this particular body line back here when the hood actually lays down. That's kind of meh, but overall I think it's all right. One thing for people to note, Cervini hoods are fiberglass. So be like really careful when you're tightening stuff down. I literally just went with my electric ratchet until it was hand tight, like until I felt any kind of resistance. And then it was like not even 1/8 of a turn. Like I barely gave it any more. And I heard the fiberglass starting to make noise and I was like, we're done, we're done. That's it. So all right, now we'll just like reinstall the hardware. We gotta put the latch in, insulation, put the
windshield washers.
The windshield washers, yeah. And then we'll show you the finished product. Oh, and then we gotta put the air dam. Okay, all right, there's, self-tap screws. So I guess we gotta figure that out too. That shouldn't be too bad though, because we're going into fiberglass. So I guess we just line it up here and then kind of
get it started and the rest will do itself.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. All right, we'll do that and then I'll be back and show you guys the finished product. We did it.
It's done.
We did it.
It's done.
Oh man, dude, it looks so good. It looks way better than the factory. It's so much wider, dude. Like I guess it comes through on camera if I stand right here. But yeah, it's taller, it's wider, it's functional.
Vent placement is better.
Vent placement is better, actually, from a functional perspective, it's better. And they're bigger, so they look cooler. Actually, if we pop the hood, we can show the good people of YouTube how everything is installed. All right, so you do reuse your factory latch. Like I said, be careful with tightening down any of these bolts. Because this hood is fiberglass and it will crack very easily. So these, I just sort of hand tight. They have a crush washer on them. Just bottom that out. I barely gave it like not even 1/8 of a turn afterward. Same thing with the main bolts on each side. Just really make sure that you don't over tighten because it will crack and spider web and it'll destroy the paint too. So like the whole hood will be messed up. That happened to one of my friends, unfortunately. The air dam is installed. It fits great. You basically just line it up with these grooves. Pretty self-explanatory. It only really fits one way. And then they give you 80 million screws to put in the side. So I just used painter's tape and Taylor held it for me. And then just kind of, use my electric screwdriver to screw all those in. They're self-threading. So that's cool. So air comes in the hood scoop, obviously, and then this air dam like channels it over to the side where the actual intake is. I'm actually going to remove this this cover so that it funnels the air basically directly into the air intake. This has a drain on the bottom of it, so you don't have to worry about water pooling up. This also has a couple of drain holes in here that we noticed, so that way you don't have to worry about moisture getting trapped in there and stuff. There is nowhere to put the factory hood liner, so we will not have a hood liner anymore. There are holes for the clips for the rubber insulation, so we put that back on. The windshield wiper thingies are, the windshield wiper sprayers, I don't know what they're called, are installed. Instead of having the tubes sticking out, you kind of tuck them in. This is basically like one big channel that goes through the front of the hood, so I guess that kind of looks cleaner. It feels a little sketchy when you're installing it, but yeah, it definitely looks better. I think the hardest part of this install was the alignment.
10-4.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But we got it. It looks really, actually, let me close the hood so we can show the alignment. So one thing same thing as the factory hood. If I close it gently and push down, it's like, I have to like throw my whole body on it, so I just drop the hood. That's how I always did my factory one too. I know it feels kind of sketchy. But anyway, the alignment is pretty good. Body line, we got it pretty even on both sides. What I was talking about earlier in the video is this gap, this fitment is not the best. This kind of like curves in a little bit too much, but it does it on both sides. I think it's just the way this particular hood fits. So you can see over here too. A little wide here, but overall, I mean,
the front is money.
Pretty good. The front's money for sure. I mean, it's perfect. It just, yeah, it lines up perfectly with the insulation and everything. And I mean, this hood scoop just looks badass. It's just like a better version of what it was. You can see it from that angle too, like how high it rides up. For the rest of this video, we are going to time travel. All right, guys, we're back. Fast forward about almost 2 months at this point. We had a string of bad weather here, tons of rain for multiple weeks in a row, which was okay because I actually, I was advised by Cervini to give a couple weeks just to let the clear coat on the hood just finish curing and stuff. They told me not to put any sealants, including vinyl, on it because it could distort the clear coat. So I've gone ahead and waited. They said it's fine if the car gets wet in the meantime, just don't put any kind of sealant like a wax or ceramic coat or vinyl, both of which we're gonna be doing today. The car is absolutely filthy, so I'm gonna get it cleaned up. But then I'm gonna lay the hood stripe, the Roush Charge decals, and then I'm gonna throw some Crystal Serum light on it, and I'm gonna redo the EXO layer on the entire car. So the way G-Technic's coating works, the Crystal Serum is supposedly good for 3 years. The EXO, they tell you, especially if you keep the car outside, which I keep this car outside and it gets rained on a lot, to re-up that EXO layer every year. Just reapply it once per year to keep that hydrophobicness. You use it sort of as the sacrificial layer is what it's been described to me as by David Francis here at over here at Finishing Touch locally. So I actually just got done wrapping the Corvette, so I went ahead and ordered a little bit of extra satin black material with that order so that I could do the stripe on the hood of this car. And I also have over here, I have my Roush Charged decals that we'll put on the sides of the hood scoop. I wanted to still maintain that kind of OEM look of the car. It does have a lot of Roush badging on it, obviously on the sides and stuff, the windshield banner. So, you know, I still want to have my stripe on the hood, and I still want it to say Roush Charged on the side. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do today, just finish it all up. After it's all done tomorrow, when I pull it out, after I let everything cure overnight, I'll give you guys some shots of the car so you can see what the new hood looks like on the car, kind of get a feel for how much more aggressive it looks than the OEM hood. It's kind of hard to tell right now, but the hood scoop's a lot bigger. It looks pretty cool. So anyway, enjoy this time lapse, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, the coating had a chance to cure overnight, so check it out. Here is the finished product. We have the Cervini Stalker Hood. Got the Avery Dennison satin black hood striping with the Roush charge lettering. I kind of went along the body line here on the back to make it look nice and neat. Tucked it on underneath the scoop and coated it last night. So it's all good now. Whole car is coated. I re-upped the XL layer on the whole car, so should be nice and hydrophobic now. Not super anal. I mean, you know, there are some like chips and whatever, but I mean, it's my daily driver, so whatever, you know. I just want to kind of preserve it as best I can, and you know, if and when I get a new daily and kind of retire this car, I'll clean the paint up even more and maybe get the front bumper resprayed or something. But yeah, for now, looks really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Cervini makes a really nice hood. The installation was pretty straightforward. Really, fitment wise, it's pretty good. The only problems that I notice are this edge doesn't quite come out as far as the other two body panels, but unless you're looking for that, you're not going to notice it. And it fits a little wonky. Like this body line is fine, but then when it comes up here, it gets this gap gets a little bit wider on both sides. So that would be like the only slight imperfection, but honestly, like I said, unless you're looking for it, you're not going to notice it, and it looks a lot better than the stock hood. Functional hood scoop, actually noticeable performance improvement, specifically in the lower RPM range, like at lower speeds when the airflow is a little more limited. The hood scoop actually does really seem to help. I notice a difference at least. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It looks, let me get you a front angle. You can see how tall the scoop is there. It's pretty big. From inside the car, it's noticeably a lot bigger as well. So definitely looks a lot better. It's more functional now. And the hood scoop is actually built into the hood instead of just bolted on top of it. So that's good. Anyway, that's it for today. That wraps up this video. As usual, I hope this video was entertaining, and I'll see you guys next time.